Okay, so this YouTube channel is all about building in public, yada yada yada. Before starting to develop a specific project, which by the way will be my next video, what better way of starting this channel than to treat it as a business? So let's start with the business plan. I read a bunch of blogs and watched a bunch of YouTube videos about how to start a channel, how to develop a channel, and I wrote a plan. Now, let's make this short and straightforward, shall we? I'll give you the template that I made in the end, but let me show you what it's all about and how to use it, because you know, the right tools in the wrong hands, that's no bueno. So this is me, right? I've identified my interests and my skills, and that's what I want to make videos about. But if I want someone to watch these videos, I need to know which themes people are interested in, and I need to align my content with those. Talking to specific niches makes it easier to gain traction since you can frame your content in a way that speaks to a specific crowd. And so you can capture all the available market instead of trying to quote unquote sell to everyone and not actually making a product that someone wants. Once I select the niches I want to speak to, I'll make a few videos, and with that I'll gather data that will allow me to characterize my audience. But maybe I'm getting too far ahead, so let's start with the first step. So I want to build in public. This is a channel that's all about committing to entrepreneurial projects or startups and showing you guys how to start and develop them. Based on that, I will start with an event organizing idea, but I can also dive into PR strategy, and I've learned some stuff in my training I could share. I can also split my audience into those that live in the same area as I do, Bend, Oregon, because that makes publicity easier through community engagement, or to those who, like I did, moved from Portugal to a different country. If you, like me, sometimes have a hard time coming up with ideas or expanding on them, Gen AI is a great tool, so I'll also try asking ChatGPT for ideas and see what people are interested in with Google Trends. Alright, so let's start with the first option. Okay, so I'm obviously not a master prompter. Let's try to improve this. Now, I see some interesting stuff here. 30-day startup challenges, that would be nice. Case studies, PR hacks, ask a founder. These all seem like good keywords to consider. Portuguese take on American culture, that sounds cool. Now, let's check what Google Trends has to say. I'm starting with the whole world and the time frame of 90 days, and this website will give me how the interest in a specific topic is evolving over time when looking at YouTube searches. The highest point is the maximum interest and gets a value of 100, and all the other points in the chart are relative percentages to that level of interest. So ideally we want to see an increase over time, or at least some consistency. Alright, so I'll speed this up a little bit, but essentially you can see that Wharton entrepreneurship, specialization, event startup, and startups in general, and the city of Bend have been consistently popular over time, or at least somewhat consistent. Now we've found some matches between my interests and audience niches. Now we need to characterize those niches, and that means to understand the words used by the community, what's the search volume for those topics, and for the event startup idea, we see stuff like event space or venue, business, portfolio, doing stuff with no money or with little money. And when we look at the popularity, we see that the top 5 videos with the most views about event startups have about 205k views combined, whereas for apps, PR strategy, the number is pretty much the double. So now let's talk keywords. I started by using 2 free keyword search engines to find keywords that have medium to low competition and high search volume. Basically, we want to increase our chance to show up when someone looks up these keywords, and we want many people to do so, right? So for the combination start an event business, we seem to have low competition and high search volume. What's interesting is that when we look for low money, for example, we get 2.5k searches, and when we look for little money, we have 500 extra searches per month. So these details seem to make a big difference. So this is the final result. Let's look at the keywords that have the highest search volume for low competition, and we can see that our best shot will be at PR strategy case studies for applications or startups starting from zero, which is really aligned with what I want to do with this channel. And then for medium competition, we get creating photography events. Mentioning a famous university seems to help, and the other two topics don't seem to have such a large demand. Now, we've identified and characterized our niches and found the associated keywords that maximize our chances. Let's see what our competitors are all about. The goal here is to select some large and medium-sized channels and compare their thumbnails, the length of the videos, the upload frequency, and what they say or show in the first 7 to 30 seconds of the video. So for PR strategy, we can start with Adam Earhart. I'm sorry if I mispronounced that. He has 450k subs, talks about marketing. His thumbnails seem to consist of facial expressions and neighbors or some sort of comparison or growth in the background. He seems to focus on making the added value very clear to the viewer. That makes sense, right? You want people to click, they need to know what they are wasting their time on. He also seems to use a dark to light contrast. His videos are about 10 to 20 minutes long and he posts about twice a week. One of the most important parts of this analysis is the next column, as the first seconds of the video will really determine if people watch it until the end or not. So this guy seems to focus on making it easy for the viewer to visualize the result of following his advice. He establishes authority and gives us an index and an indication that he will hand out some sort of a template, and that's great. I like it. I think I'll do the same in this video. His most popular videos seem to be about marketing strategies to start and grow a business, and yeah, that's it. I'll just perform this exact same process for some other channels and be right back at you. So I've analyzed 6 channels and here are the major takeaways from this process. Niches 2 and 3 don't seem to be popular, so it may be because there's no audience or because there's no content being generated. The first one is a possibility, the second one is a certainty, so incorporating them in my videos may be a good idea, even if it's not such a good idea to make my videos all about those topics. I ended up using mostly this website for keyword searching. That's a good takeaway, as I will probably do some fine-tuning for each video. The thumbnails seem to always have the face of the content creator and a contrast of ideas on the background with a clear cue to the added value. Larger channels seem to stick to longer formats, whereas medium-sized channels stick to 10 to 20 minutes. Now, longer videos require more time and effort to make, so I would probably go for about 10 minutes here, but I'm still considering if shorter videos may provide a good contrasting point to my quote-unquote competitors in this niche. So there doesn't seem to be a good offer for people who want shorter formats for this same topics. I guess it's something I have to test too. And in business, especially in early business, it's all about testing. Now, in the first few seconds, I've noticed that it's crucial to establish authority and speak with confidence, so that when I talk about the problem statement and the solution I will propose, the viewer can trust me and picture the value that he'll get from watching the video. It seems that asking for a subscription is also a good idea, so guys, subscribe please, leave a comment and whatever. Some YouTubers also provide an index. I think that's great. I love it when they do that and they have those chapters, you know. So we've got all this information. What now? Guys, this process is not about making videos for views only, but to adapt your content to improve the chance of gaining traction. If we just wanted views, it's honestly pretty easy. You just have to make videos about celebrities, you just have to make videos about whatever's trending on YouTube. But if you want to create a business, you should be passionate about it, right? Because for me, an ideal life is a life where you not only get money from what you do, but you enjoy doing it. Otherwise, you're just spending half your time getting money to enjoy the other half. So yeah, think about that. What this actually means is that I will use the keywords that I found to decide on some of the test topics for my first YouTube videos and define my titles, which will get me on people's screens because they are aligned with what people are searching for. I will put some effort into making good thumbnails and maybe even changing the thumbnails and see how people react to those according to the guidelines I've described, so that people actually click on the videos. And then I will try to improve my first few seconds so that I increase retention, which the algorithm loves. I will apply this process to 5 to 6 videos to get the data that will allow me to characterize my audience. One way of doing that is to define personas. So these are characters that will help transform your abstract idea of customers, and that way you can guide your product development by thinking of them and what they would like to see. It's much easier to please a person if you can think of a person, right? So with that data, I will make my 6th or 7th video to share with you the second part of this process. Among the topics that I like to talk about and make videos about I will define my value proposition to that audience, meaning answering the question, why should that audience watch my videos and what do they get? After that, I will think about how to present that value proposition to the personas I've identified, and this will help me tailor the content to the audience. At this point, we have a product that's made to someone or a group of people that have been characterized, a specific group, and the next step is to think about how to reach them. In here, I suggest creating a PR calendar. This will all be on my second video, right? When to think about collaborations, when to try to go viral with a certain video. Should I advertise the video with paid ads? Should I go to founder communities looking for a co-founder and then using my channel as an introduction? That would be actually a great idea. Feel free to steal it. I want to build this with you. I want to give you real help and not just to lay out a bunch of concepts that will lead you to fortune in 5 weeks, right? Because that's not real. So I really appreciate your feedback. Please be reckless, say whatever you're thinking. Honest feedback is key to moving forward fast. So bring it on, bitch.